A very good morning to everyone out there. Landon here in the driver's seat, bringing you this Wednesday morning edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by On Target. Going to be looking at the potential for the hottest days of the year today into tomorrow, okay? So hang in there with us, folks, like a hair and a biscuit here over the next 48 hours. Going to be experiencing this extreme heat that's out here. High pressure set up over the Appalachian Mountains going to keep our light winds out of the south. Is going to at least attempt to keep the vast majority and the bulk of this activity right along and north of the Ohio River here as we work throughout the day. We do have some models showing some sporadic storm development right along the Ohio River. We might catch a stray blow off from that, but for the most part, we're going to be righteously hot underneath that big ball of fire yet again today. We're already starting off that way, getting a look across the region. The Sexton BIM Builder Skycam down in Gold City. The rolling farmland down in Simpson County this morning. Simply, folks, not a single cloud in the sky. Same can be said overlooking the Beechtree News Skycam up in Morgantown. A whole lot of nothing going on, and that is what is going to be allowing this extraordinarily insane heat to take over. Temperatures and dew points already located in the mid and upper 60s region-wide. If you look down here near the Tennessee border, Scottsville's all the way up near the mid 70s as we speak. Folks, we could very realistically see thermometers hit the 100-degree mark or even exceed that both today and into tomorrow. Now, if there is a silver lining, dew points are expected to meander right around the mid and upper 60s, not quite getting up into the extraordinarily excessive levels up into the 70s. That'll take the edge off of those heat indices. They still will be meandering right around those lower 100 values as we work into this afternoon. Looking here at the latest surface map, a little bit better depiction than what we were looking at there a few slides ago. High pressure is just set up shop, folks, and it's not loosening its grip. We got this large, expansive upper-level ridge in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere working in tandem with high pressure at the surface that is bringing the extreme heat across the area. You can see where the green dashed is highlighted there right along and north and west of the Ohio River and Mississippi River. That is where the activity is expected today, so another dry slate for us is what it would appear. Let's jump over here and let's talk about the short-term model guidance in terms of our real-time temperatures of what we will see unfolding both today and then rolling into the Thursday time frame as well. We get into mid-morning, right around the 9 and 10 a.m. range. We're going to be up already around the 90-degree mark, and then exceeding that all the way up to right around the upper 90s, lower 100s, folks. Real-time readings on the thermometers today and tomorrow are going to be on either side of the 100-degree threshold. Again, folks, I know I've been saying this week. We're not talking about heat indices. We're talking about real-time readings on the thermometer, and that is just pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Now, if you think that's high, getting up to around the 98-degree mark this afternoon, well, I'm going to avoid any Nick Lachey references. We're going to save that for all of us, okay? And then we roll into Thursday. We're going to be up to right around the 100-degree by lunchtime. Look up here, right around the 12 p.m. range tomorrow, creeping up into the lower 100 values during the peak heating of tomorrow afternoon. And folks, we're going to get a little bit cooler as we work into Friday with highs meandering around the mid-90s. But with dew points increasing, heat indices, it could actually even feel a little bit hotter or right around the same values. Friday afternoon is what we're going to experience today and on into tomorrow. But folks, here we are looking at Friday night late Thursday night into early Friday morning. That's the temperature valuation. This is what our surface map is going to be looking like right around mid-morning into lunchtime on Friday. We have this blatant cold front that is arriving out of the north and west, and all the moisture pumping in here out of the Gulf of Mexico. We are going to be seeing scattered storm development and cloud debris from that storm development that is going to try to mitigate those high temperatures Friday on into the start of the long Labor Day weekend, okay? It's not going to be an entire washout for any of you with plans throughout the long weekend, But it is worth saying and noting that we will be dodging the sporadic scattered storms that will be developing in that nature, all right? The good news, or the great news, if you will, is by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, this cold front should be south and east of the area, allowing that deep northerly flow to come in here and escort in a much cooler, drier, and much more comfortable air mass rolling into our Labor Day, into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. All right, so we'll showcase this. The rain chances stay alive throughout our Friday into our Friday evening. Here we are looking at Saturday, Friday night into Saturday morning, some sporadic storm development sticking around. We get into Saturday afternoon, it's the same song and dance. This is whenever our rain and storm chances should become maximized. Saturday afternoon during the peak heating into Saturday evening, whenever the parent front is going to make it through here. Look at all these reflectivity showing up right here across the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. Folks, cross your fingers, cross your toes, whatever digits you got. We need some rain. We are really creeping towards these drought conditions. If we can get some rain in here, hopefully that'll mitigate any extent of that, especially for all of our farmers out there with the late bean crop, etc. I was just having a conversation there with a local farmer a few days ago who was mentioning that. By the time we roll into Sunday morning, the bulk of the rain should be out of here, okay? We should be drying out to an extent. We work throughout Sunday and on into Labor Day. This area of high pressure is going to be our saving grace behind the cold front, deep northerly flow ushering in the much more cooler, much more comfortable feel, all right? So let's jump right into it here and let's look at the longer range pattern in regards to those lovely dew points we've grown so accustomed to throughout the latter part here of the summer season. We work throughout today, we're going to be meandering up between the mid and upper 60s at times. Not terrible, and actually looks like we'll be in the low to mid 60s throughout much of today on into tomorrow. However, as we get into Friday with the arrival of the cold front, you can see dew points pushing up into the lower 70s. Temperatures will be a few degrees cooler, but combining that with the higher dew points, it is still going to feel very, very uncomfortable in the great outdoors. You can see where the cold fronts arriving out of the north and west. We work throughout our Sunday, and we finally get into Sunday night and on into Labor Day, folks, whenever the relief is finally going to surge in here. By the time we go into late Monday afternoon into Monday night, going to be dipping down into the 50s with those dew points, and sweet relief's going to hang around throughout a good chunk of the new work week. Here we are looking at Thursday. Here we are looking at Friday of next week, all the way into the weekend. Then we'll have another weather disturbance with a potential cold front arriving for more rain chances, roughly a week from the Friday to Saturday time frame. But folks, all in all, next week after the cold front gets out of here, with the lower dew points hanging around and the cooler temperatures, it is going to be, dare I say it, quite nice in the great outdoors. Focusing in here on what we're going to be talking about in the short term, today and tomorrow, the extreme heat remains the name of the weather game. Real-time readings on the thermometers right around 100 degrees. Heat indices in the lower 100s. Take frequent breaks. Reapply the sunscreen as necessary. Please stay hydrated if you're going to be spending extended periods in the great outdoors. Rolling into the Friday and Saturday time frame, we don't have any severe weather concerns, although we could get some strong winds in here with any storms that are able to develop. We're looking here at Friday, we just have a generalized thunderstorm risk. It's going to be the same song and dance for our Saturday, with any severe threat remaining further to our north there in the upper Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region. Hopefully this comes to fruition, folks, but over the course of the next week, they have portrayed anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch of total rainfall coming along with the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday system. As previously mentioned, hopefully we get some of this on the ground to help mitigate those drought conditions that we are seeing meander up and close in on Wobbles country. Here's a full breakdown of your 6-day weather forecast brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. Loads of sunshine, potentially the hottest days of the year, both today and tomorrow. Highs right around 100 degrees. More cloud debris and scattered storm chances bring temperatures down to the mid 90s on Friday, lower 90s on Saturday. Getting into Sunday, even a few degrees cooler, and then Labor Day all the way down to the lower 80s. But folks, we're going to be keeping the scattered storm chances around Friday afternoon, Friday night, become maximized Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, and then steadily tapering off Sunday into Monday with a cold front working more and more south and east of the region. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning weather or not forecast, brought to you by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Stay cool. Have a